Alright, I can't find a notebook. I don't really have a journal right now anyway, so I guess I really am just going all digital. I'm on the Greyhound. It hasn't left New York yet. I don't know what time it is. I was supposed to be on the Amtrak today at 3:20. I got there at 3:33 and it left. My own damn fault, of course. Crackhead that I am. I headed up to Greyhound, got a ticket at like 5 to get on the 7 o'clock bus to get me into Detroit tomorrow at 11, as opposed to the Amtrak, which would get me into Detroit tomorrow at 7, apparently, if it went on time. This guy called me that I had talked with last week that I was really interested in meeting. He said he was Turkish, but he wasn't Turkish, he was Israeli, or maybe he was lying. He was totally fucked up. He just kept offering me cocaine, and for some odd peer pressure reason I finally accepted a little of it. It's kind of exciting, but I was kind of interested to see what it tasted like after having the Peruvian leaf, but oh my god. So I got back up to the bus station, of course, 10 minutes before the bus was supposed to leave, and the bus was full and nobody else was allowed on it. It left, and they didn't say anything. They were just like, okay. There was maybe like 10 or 15 more of us that didn't get on the bus. I went and got the bus ticket changed to leave at 10:15, and then walked down 42nd Street and went to go buy a ticket for Wicker Man, but I kind of missed the beginning of Wicker Man, and the lady behind the counter told me the wrong floor to go to. Just accidents, of course. So I went and saw The Covenant instead, which is pretty terrible, but I like that they're kind of marketing to young kids to watch what they're doing with their life force, especially if you think you're special and you got something special. It was pretty crap. Anyway, so while I was waiting in line to get on the bus, this guy who was, I think he said he was 57, but had a nice dark head of hair, he started talking to me, and
I'll do it to you about 7 o'clock, 7:15. Make one stop and route. If you folks who have cell phones, please don't bait. Put them on vibrate. If you ain't gone, please don't pop. Now, folks, I know you're wrong. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. And man, if you had consideration for other people talk, please know you're going. And now I'm talking about that.
Okay, so yeah, I'm on the Greyhound. So I was waiting in line, this guy saw me doing stretches, saw me doing yoga, and he's talking to me about how he had been in a lot of pain, how he hadn't taken care of himself, and he just thought he could get away with his habits of smoking and drinking and watching TV and riding around and not taking care of himself, and he started being in a lot of pain and aging and feeling terrible, so he changed what he eats, stopped with the caffeine, the Coca-Cola, the McDonald's, sugar. I was pretty impressed. And said he's moving more. So he's, and we were talking about things, and he was asking if I went to school at all. I was like, no, I haven't gone to school. Blah, 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 And he said, wow, we just killed a bunch of time, because I got there at 9:15 to make sure I didn't miss the bus this time. And I said, no, we didn't kill time, we lived time, we had fun, it was good. And so the guy behind was like, oh, you haven't gone to school, you're wasting time. And then I, shot off some of the places that I'd been, and he was like, oh, how'd you do that? How did you afford to do that? And I said, I chose not to waste my time working jobs I hated to make money, to try to afford the things I wanted to do, and I just directly paid for what I wanted with attention. I got into this whole thing, he was like, well, how did you make money, or how did you do that, blah, blah, blah. And I told him about working on computers. He's like, oh, so you had skills. How'd you get those skills? And I was like, well, I didn't get them at school. I got them by paying attention. And she was like, paying attention, so how did you get to, do you stay at hostels and you travel? I'm like, no, I stay at people's houses. And he said, for free? And I said, no. I have to pay attention to them. And I explained to him that a lot of people don't have someone who pays attention to them, who gives them existential feedback, who validates their existence, who lets them know they're alive, who feels them and listens to them. And I do that, and that's how I pay for my way through life. So the RV driver, the guy who's been driving across the country, driving RVs now, having fun, he's taking care of himself, and he's 57. He was like, oh, what did he say? Yeah. I don't remember the point I was getting at. It was just kind of funny. I thought I did a good job of saying, oh, you know, that's what I was saying. He said that I had done a good job of just helping people by living myself, marching to my own beat. The people who march to their own beats are the happiest people on their feet, he said. He was a poet once upon a time, went to Washington 3 times for it. We're leaving New York now, look. Goodbye, New York. New Yorker. New York, where it's way too easy to do the things that aren't good for you. Way too easy. Gotta work hard, I'm imagining and I'm hoping that if I actually spend time in a small town for a while, I can really focus on getting my shit together and reform my will. I think that's the important thing of living with Go, is that I could reform my will somehow. That's the project, the goal is to happen. So I can still set a good example, still help people, still pay attention, because paying attention is the currency of life. What did I say? I said that it does no good to say to somebody that God loves you, because God loves through us. You have to say, I love you. It usually doesn't do any good for anyone to say to them, I love you. You have to show them that you love them. And you do that by paying attention. Attention is the currency of love. There we go. Little doctrine. Now I'm on the bus. I'm going to be on the bus for many, many hours. My batteries will all run dead by the time I